These are the plaintiffs, Tanisha Kane, Dara Evans, and Pamela Turner. Tanisha says they're friends with the defendant's mother, and they purchased a car from him. After giving him a deposit, they took it to their mechanic, and he told them to give the car back. It had no emergency brakes, spark plugs, or transmission fluid. The defendant should be going to jail for trying to sell them a dangerous car. They're now out all kinds of money and are suing him here and now for the $2,000 they're owed. This is the defendant, Christopher Putman. He says the plaintiffs are crazy. They bought his car, they haven't paid him in full for the car, and anything that's now wrong with it after all this time's on them, not him. He doesn't know how they think they can get away with keeping his car, not paying for it in full, and then taking him to court and suing him. Because if anyone's owed money here today, it's him. He's accused of unloading a hoopty. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $5,000 for the balance owed on the car and slander.
All parties, please use your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff bought a car from the defendant and says the emergency brake was busted and on and on. The defendant says that it's all on the plaintiff's watch. It's the case of hoop-dee-doo.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Tanisha Kane.
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Dara Evans.
Dare.
Dara Evans,
Yes.
and Pamela Turner.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You are suing Christopher Putnam?
Yep.
For $2,000 for the refund of a purchase price that you bought, car repairs, locksmith, and car parts. You have a counterclaim against them for $5,000 because you want more for the car you sold them that they're unhappy with, and you want to be reimbursed for costs of a repossession and slander. All right, let me hear from you.
Well, early March, well, first of all, I start this way. I'm very good friends with the defendant's mother. I'm very active in the rescue.
Oh, this is awkward.
Well, I'm very active in the rescue community, and she donates...
In the what community?
Animal rescue.
Animal rescue.
Yes.
Okay.
She donates food, clothing, used towels, things like that, that I distribute throughout to the rescues.
Okay.
We had seen the car in the driveway, and I was like, well, you know, what's going on with all these cars here? And she informed us that her son was selling them. And so we said, well, how much does he want for this one? She calls him on the phone. He says $1,000. We all heard it. We all agreed. Oh, great, because that's exactly what he was getting back from taxes. And so we decided...
Okay, he is what to you?
I'm sorry, this is my stepson.
Okay.
Yep. And so we decided, great, perfect, $1,000, good car, you know, because he claimed that everything was taken care of. There was no problems with it. It was newly inspected. And so we did all that. And then we had to go to the mechanic because the car just isn't working correctly. And
Well, you bought the car. How much did you buy it for?
we paid $1,000. And then a couple days later, after we had settled on the $1,000 price, he turns around and says, well, I need another $500 for the car. And because I have a total...
I'm sorry, you already have the car?
Yes.
And
Well, no, wait, excuse me, Your Honor. At that point, we had not taken possession of the car yet.
Had you paid the $1,000?
No, not yet.
Oh, so
Not yet.
Wait a minute, hold on, back it up. All right, so you bought a car for $1,500.
Not exactly, Your Honor, because...
I don't understand. Is
when-
there a bill of sale in this
Yes.
case? Give me the bill of sale. All right, let's see.
Yes.
All right. $1,000 down on a 2006 Ford Taurus, $500 balance due, signatures of both of you. Is this your signature?
It's
Or
my
somebody's signature, your signature. All right, so did you or did you not buy a car for $1,500?
Correct.
Okay, all right,
right.
so you agree to the $1,500, you bring them only $1,000, and why do you release a car if the full payment isn't made?
Your Honor, I do a lot of buy here, pay here's. I was in the process of closing down my shop.
What? Buy here what?
Buy here, pay here, where somebody makes payments, they don't go through a bank. I basically fund the car out of my pocket and let somebody make payments on the car.
Why?
It's kind of how I do things for people that don't have good credit and things of that nature, to where I'm kind of conveniencing them to try to help them out in getting a car where they can't go through a bank and get a loan and so
Well,
on
I
and so
guess
forth.
it's a niche business, because if I don't have good credit and the only way I can get a car is by paying whatever you ask, I guess that works. And this is the proof of the
receipt.
agreement.
Right.
I
Now,
want to spring for some real receipts.
well, again, Your Honor.
Hey, I don't care. It's what do I always say? There is crayon and toilet paper, and
you
you
go.
went with a sticky and a pencil. So I'm good. A pen. It's a pen.
That I did make sure of, Your Honor. That was a pen that I wrote it with.
All right. So what happens? You take the car, and then you take after purchasing it is when you take it to a mechanic.
Correct, because there was problems with the car. It was not even a full day after my son had taken possession.
So let's talk. You talk to me and tell me what happened when you drove the car. You don't have to move. We have a microphone right there. You're perfectly fine.
Well,
there.
after I took the car, right away, a couple hours, the engine light clicks right on. I hit him up. I hit the defendant up right away and let him know, look, engine light's cut on. I don't know why. I haven't gone anywhere. I only drive from home to work, back and forth. So he's all, bring it over, check it out. He told me there were, the word, if I use correctly, misreads or
Misfires.
Misfires, or whatever.
What's that mean?
It means when the spark plug and the spark plug wire, they're not getting the right voltage through them.
So how do you solve that?
You change the spark plugs or the wires, either one. I told him what I would do was I would go get spark plugs for you and install them in the car. That's the only thing that's coming up while your check engine light is on. It's nothing for you to work.
So did somebody do that?
Yes.
All right. So at some point, you asked, "Where's the rest of my money?" When was the money supposed to get to you? The
In 2
$500?
weeks. In 2 weeks from initially signing that
Okay.
payment.
And then, so what happens in 2 weeks? Do you ask for your money?
No, because within those 2 weeks' time.
They're calling and calling about the issues.
Right. I mean, they're just, again, from day one, Your Honor, like I said, they brought me the $1,000. The three of them showed up at my mother's house. When they gave me the $1,000, okay, the very next day, I explained to them, I said, well, I'll go to DMV for you and get your plates. She must have took that as, I'm going to pay for your plates. I'm going to pay for the taxes on your $1,500 car. And that's right then and there is where it went crazy. Because she kept saying to me, I'm not paying the taxes. And I kept explaining to her, listen, I'm not paying the taxes on your car. I got to pay my own taxes.
At some point, did you say, all right, I'll just pay the taxes, and so it was just the cost of registration that you were arguing about?
And that's what I did just to kind of keep the
Okay, I got
peace.
it.
So if the emergency brake is busted, does the defendant have to pay?
No, because I think that it is as is, no warranty.
As is means?
Means that it is the
Tough luck. Tough luck.
tough luck.
Exactly, going inside the courtroom.
And so you are suing because you feel that you have a lemon law claim, a warranty on this car. And I am here to tell you, you do not. Legally speaking, this is an as-is sale. Okay? You do not have any claim to have him fix the first spark plug, much less anything else. You have no right to demand boo in an as-is sale. That's the law. So you will not be getting a refund of the purchase price of the car, because let's talk about what you're suing for. You want a $1,000 refund of the purchase price of the car. You want $500 to repair a bunch of stuff, so now you have a free car. You want $300 for a locksmith. Let's get to that part. They don't pay you a penny more. In your estimation, they owe you $640. So what do? You send somebody to his place of business to take the car.
To his job, yes.
Why?
Because I assured them when they purchased the car from me, Your Honor, and I have the extra set of keys in my pocket that I showed them when they gave me the $1,000, and I explained to them, if I don't have my $500 in 2 weeks, I will be coming to get the car, okay? I didn't put a lien on the car, and then we would have never been here because, again, they were friends of my mother. I didn't think it would go this far.
What's your mother say about all this?
I mean, she's called my mother's phone threatening that I'm going to jail behind this.
Are you kidding me? It's called his mother? You have to torment the mother?
No, that's
Your Honor, I got a note right here from my mother, signed right here.
On another sticky note?
Your Honor.
Yeah, no.
Why don't you buy yourself a legal pad, a roll of paper, something?
This is a note saying that she left a message on there, my mother's answer machine, telling her I'm going to jail.
Let's not get bogged in. I don't even want to know about that. I want to ask you, so then you send somebody to go take the car.
Yeah.
Who'd you send?
I sent my son.
Your son?
Yeah, my son works for me as far as my business goes, yes. And again, it was an easy repo. I have the keys to the car. I knew it was parked in the parking lot.
Right.
I mean,
so you go out there, your son takes the car, and then you call the police?
We did, yes.
And the police explained to you, dude, you can't just take the car. You let them register the car in their name. It's now legally theirs. If you file a lien, you can, that's how the law lets you, because we can't just have people keeping keys and then running over and taking a car.
Correct, 100%.
We don't want that.
100%,
Well, that's how you do business, but that's not what we want.
100%.
Okay? All right, so the police make you return the car. You then now want the $300 that you paid a locksmith to switch the keys on the car.
The ignition and
the
key,
ignition, which you chose to do, and I think that was a wise choice for you to do that. But why would he have to pay that? That was a choice that you made. He took the car, he got spanked, and he had to return the car. So
If he wouldn't have touched the car, I wouldn't have had to change the ignition.
No, it's not. That's not true. He didn't damage the ignition. You changed it, and as I said, I think it was a wise move on your part. You changed it because you wanted to make sure he couldn't take the car a second time.
Exactly.
I don't know why we would think he would when the police
Cops already
spanked him,
told me,
but
right.
good, and told him, "What are you nuts? You don't have a lien. Give the car." So. Although I think that was a good move on your part, I don't think he has to pay you for that. All right, you have a counterclaim for $5,000. Oh, do tell. Tell me about that.
I received a call from the defendant here's uncle. He's a friend of mine. He goes, "Hey, what's going on with you and my nephew?" I go, "Hey, who's your nephew?" He's like, "The one you just sold the Taurus to." I said, "Why? What's going on?" I said, "I sold him the car, and his mother's girlfriend started getting crazy. I don't know." He's like, "Well, what happened?" So I started explaining it, and as soon as I started explaining it to him, he's like, "Oh, they're lying, man. They didn't tell me that's what happened." I said, "Well, this is what happened, man. I even got text
Wait,
from."
that's your slander?
And they explained to him I'm a shady car salesman, things of that nature.
Well, that's what they think.
Okay, well that's
I mean,
my
we're kind
slander.
of like, right. I thought that you
that's
were
my
telling
slander,
me they
Your Honor.
posted it or they did something, to harm your business or something like that would be actionable. But, most people hate each other who are suing each other, and, that's kind of how it goes. That's their opinion is that you're shady. Guys, look, it's a simple thing, and I'm sorry that this happened to you. And I am sorry that it happened to you because you were excited. You wanted to buy your car. As I have often said to people, I need you to go on iTunes, and I need you to find a song called $1,000 Car. It ain't worth blank. I've had $1,000 cars. I went through that. It was a long time ago. But, so really, you've come to court with a lot of complaints and very little rights and evidence, and you don't have that right. I'm going to order you to pay the $640 that's remaining. That's what's going to happen. Verdict for the defendant. And on your counterclaim, just the $640. You don't get any of the rest. And
No
on your
slander?
claim against him, $0.
Both sides, hold on right there, please.
Well, after a lot of discussion, guess what? You got to pay.
Yes. I still think it's wrong. He promised so much, didn't deliver anything, but it's okay. Lesson learned.
Well, you have learned a valuable lesson. Absolutely. All right. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Okay? Thank you. All right, Mr. Putnam, you're finally going to get the money.
Yeah, fine.
Yep. It's a long journey, but worth it. Right? I think.
At the end of the day, it wasn't worth it, but I'm just happy it's over with, pretty much.
Yeah, all right. I don't blame you. Okay, thank you very much.
Yep.
You must sign a few documents, and that'll do it. Harvey?
Okay, well, look, the only way to undo a sale like this is proving fraud. There is no fraud here, and further evidence, always take a car to a mechanic before buying it.